there's no turning back. The fact that the people around me are even braver than me. You know, you see a person that has nothing but hope in your leadership. And they have given everything. These people are younger than you. They would have had a longer life than you and all that. So all this makes me take a firm decision and say, no, man, this is not the hope to let down. And we keep going.
Yeah, and I think you've talked about, we have no option but to keep fighting. And the chat we've already had about how you want to live your life, how you want to die, and what life means. There's a gentleman called Bossel in the debate circles. He was talking about an instance during the Second World War where in Bangladesh these people were being attacked by the German army and they were going to be defeated anyway. So instead of surrendering, they decided to fight on their feet. And from that he says that self-defense or fighting, even when you're guaranteed to fail, is a justified thing to do. I think you've also in many times talked about the idea that even if you're going to fail, like fight, there is honor in that, as opposed to just living.
Absolutely. No, I'll tell you this, and I think I read it somewhere that even if the chance for victory or survival is 1%, it's worth fighting for. But also the satisfaction that one gets by dying on their feet is immeasurable. Yeah. So either way, it's worth fighting for.
I know you said you didn't prepare for this, one thing led to another. But when someone goes back to your life, there's your music friend called Butcherman, who was talking about where you started, and someone can still see the leadership in you from a young age, from nothing to challenging the situation there and emerging as the leader of the ghetto. And for me, being the leader of the ghetto is not just being the leader of artists, it's defeating the circumstances that happen within the ghetto where people live and grow up to where you are. When like I said, when I saw you talking to those kids on your campaign trails, pupils who got out of their school to listen to you, and I listened to Carolina, I don't see so much of a different person. For me, it has always been there. It's just maybe circumstances or fate, depends on what someone believes in. But I am convinced, for me, that this is something that perhaps was inevitable. You had to end up like this. Hopefully we can move towards victory and success. So as we conclude, what's that one message you have for Ugandans as we go into the 2026 election?
To the Ugandans out there, hope is the most important thing that we must never lose. Let us keep the hope alive. A new Uganda is possible. A new Uganda is coming. A new Uganda is in your hands. We can actually get there. We can actually redefine ourselves. But that redefining this country begins by redefining ourselves, telling ourselves that we are not losers, that we are winners, that we are not slaves, we are free people, that we are not here temporarily, we are here permanently, that we are not different, we are the same, that, you know, we are equal, but also telling you that the confidence that you have in yourself and that you put in people is the wealthiest thing that you can have or give. Have it in yourself. Also looking at me, I'm not any different from anybody else. You know, it's just knowing what you deserve and having the courage to demand for it and the moral courage to connect with other people. So I just want to ask the Ugandans, especially young Ugandans, and no disrespect to the elders, but the young Ugandans now, need to have a common mind, a mind of better, a mind of self-worth, a mind of dignity for everybody by beginning with yourself. Are you comfortable where you are? If you're not, do something about it. You know, we are going into an election. This is not just an election, but it is something that is going to define our resolve and our willingness to get where we think we deserve. In life, you don't just get what you deserve, you get what you bargain for, what you work for, what you set out to get. So I'm of the view that we as a generation should set out to first and foremost free ourselves, so that you have the right to implement those amazing ideas in your mind, especially that you have the right to implement them, and there's possibility, you know. We must decide, we must take a cautious decision that we are going to live in dignity. We are going to live better than our great-grandparents, you know. This education that we've got, this knowledge that we've acquired through social media, through friends, it is worth putting into action so we can benefit from it. We are not any different from the young people of China. We are just living in poverty with knowledge. At least back then we were not aware, but now we know. And there's nothing as painful as being in a bad state and you actually know that you're in a bad state, that you could have been in a better state. It is within our power to change this country. Within our power. It won't take just me, it will take all of us. Don't look at me as your hero, I am not. Don't look at me as your savior, I am not. I'm just one of you, and I think we can only get out of this mess by stopping to think that somebody else is going to save us. We are all going to save ourselves, or we are all going to, you know, perish. So, yeah, let's get out there, get involved, fold our sleeves, do what we can. I'm very glad we live in an uninformed and connected generation. Let us change the minds of the people, unite them, ensure that they don't see themselves as Basoga, as Baganda, as Banyankole, as Acholi, but see themselves as Ugandans. That is the number one thing. We love our tribes. Tribe is a very beautiful identity, but it has been the biggest problem for Africa. The biggest problem for Africa. I was talking to some friend, a superstar from Jamaica, his name is Anthony B. And he says that until we demystify tribe and we elevate logic and content of character, we'll be walking backwards. So with that, I am very happy to have spoken to you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's always nice talking to you, and I'm sure it's immense for those who are listening, especially really the young people who are trying to make sense of their circumstances in this country and across the continent and the world. That's truly inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.